In the previous video, we compared the Old Covenant and the New Covenant and saw that something fundamental has changed. The Old Covenant revealed God's standard, but depended on human effort, while the New Covenant is grounded in what Christ has already accomplished and begins to transform from within. But that raises an important question. If the New Covenant has come, then why did God give the law in the first place? Was the law meant to save, or did it serve a different purpose in God's plan? To answer that, we need to step back and understand what the law was designed to do and how it fits into the larger story. The law was given through Moses as part of the Old Covenant. It revealed God's character, His holiness, and His standard of righteousness. As we see in Exodus 24 verse 12, God gave Moses the law written on stone tablets. The law showed people what was right. It defined sin clearly and removed any confusion about what God required. But the law was never given as a means of salvation. This is where many misunderstand its purpose. The Apostle Paul makes this clear in Romans 3 verse 20, where he writes that through the law we become conscious of our sin. The law functions like a mirror. It shows us our condition, but it cannot change it. It reveals the problem, but it does not provide the solution. Paul goes even further in Galatians 3 verse 24, where he says that the law was our guardian until Christ came, that we might be justified by faith. The law was never the destination. It was a guide. It was meant to lead people to Christ. In other words, the law prepares the ground, but it does not produce the harvest. This helps us understand something very important. The law exposes sin, but it also increases awareness of it. As Romans chapter 5 verse 20 says, the law was brought in so that the trespass might increase. This does not mean the law causes sin, but it brings it into the light. It makes sin visible, undeniable, and unmistakable, so the law serves multiple purposes. It reveals God's standard. It exposes human sin. It shows our inability to meet that standard on our own. And it points us forward to Christ, because once the law has done its work, it leaves us with a realization. We cannot fix ourselves. We cannot achieve righteousness through effort alone. This is exactly where the New Covenant begins to make sense. As Romans chapter 8 verse 3 explains, what the law was powerless to do because it was weakened by the flesh, God did by sending His own Son. What the law could not accomplish externally, Christ accomplishes internally. So the law was not a failure. It was part of the process. It was given to prepare humanity for something greater. It reveals the need for grace. It points beyond itself, and ultimately, it leads us to Christ. This brings us back to where we are now. Under the New Covenant, we are no longer relating to God through the law as a system of external commands. Instead, we are invited into a relationship where transformation begins within. So when we step back and look at the bigger picture, the purpose of the law becomes clear. It was never given as a way to make us righteous. It was given to reveal God's standard, expose sin, and ultimately point us to Christ. The law shows us the need. Christ provides the solution. But this leads us to one more important question that we cannot ignore. What does it actually mean to be under the law? That is exactly what we will explore in the next video. Friends, if this helped bring clarity, consider subscribing and let me know what topic you would like to explore next through the covenant lens. Bye for now.